Welcome back to Looking Forward. Yeah, going to do a series of these. Things have changed a great deal in the last few months in a lot of ways. Not counting the fact that I'm now retired, so I can do these more easily. But Looking Forward is intended, was intended, continues to be intended to be a way of examining things into our future, of looking at futurism. And a lot of that is economics, but not all. A certain amount of it is energy. Because if modern energy failed, modern society would fail as well. And there's been concern. There's been legitimate concern. I will post, if I haven't already, and I don't think I have, a link to the amount of oil left in the world, which is a running ticker. They are not finding, and I said this in my video, they're not finding new giant and supergiant fields. The oil we have that we are now deprecating over time is all the oil there is. And it looks to me like we are seeing maybe 40 years left, maybe less, maybe only 30. Depends on whether or not the OPEC countries lied in their, sorry about the neighbor's dog. It depends on whether or not the OPEC countries lied when they revised their total proven reserves in the 1980s, and I think they did. But the things we're going to be covering in this and several more videos relate to other things that will protect us from those effects. Let's start this particular video. We're going to start by discussing fusion. Now, as recently as a year ago, a colleague of mine, well, now a former colleague of mine, was very happy to insist without question that fusion was impossible and would never be seen on Earth, that it would always cost more energy to start, to create, than it could give us. He was firm. Others were firm. Chemists and physicists that I know, absolutely sure that we would never see fusion that gave a net positive energy return. Well, a few weeks ago, Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory succeeded in producing fusion that yielded substantively more energy than it took to start it. That's the grail. Now, are we going to see fusion reactors this year? No. I'll post an article on it below. But we're not going to see fusion reactors this year. We're not going to see fusion reactors next year. It's a few years away, I think. Could we speed it up? Absolutely. But it would require a unified government where both sides cared about solving problems, where one side didn't have to virtually crawl over hot coals to get modest legislation helping the United States, its people, and the rest of the people of the world passed. At this point, we don't have that. So, is it coming? Absolutely. Do we now know beyond question that it works? Absolutely. Is it a solution? Yes. It's a panacea of energy. Energy beyond anything we've had to this point. Are there forms of energy beyond it? Absolutely. And we know that. 0 point, with quantum, with all sorts of things. But fusion alone solves the energy crisis. With fusion, your computer is not going to become depowered and turn off forever. With fusion, we should, if we force the fossil fuel companies into compliance, be able to reserve enough oil to produce fertilizer for the next several thousand years, which is absolutely essential to maintain the population that we've now reached and that we will reach. It looks to me like we're going to plateau out between 8 and 9 billion, and it won't go any higher. But that's a lot of people. The Earth can only feed 2 to 3 billion, maybe 4, without the artificial agricultural things that we do now. Fertilizer, petrochemicals are essential. Essential. Can't survive without them. Therefore, the preservation of enough oil to produce them, along with the panacea of new energies, are essential. As I said, I will put links below. I welcome conversation on this. You can message me, you can email me. You can message me in Facebook, email me, or message me in Instagram. I am no longer using Twitter. I believe it's going to collapse within a year or two at most. And I'm not going to build up a whole infrastructure in Twitter and then watch it fall into a pit. But there are lots of ways to reach me. Those are listed below as well, and I would welcome the right to discuss it with you. Thank you very much, and have a good day.